This is a big anniversary coming up, 80. It's hard to imagine that number, but you're celebrating it in part by dedicating a new home, celebrating a new home as well. Tell us what's going on.
So the Tuskegee Airmen started March 22nd, 1941, and we wanted to celebrate that as the beginning of African Americans in military aviation. We would like to celebrate that, plus announce the opening of our new home at the Charles H. Wright. So there were folks in the community and the Ford Fund through Pamela Alexander who thought that our old location, which was historic Fort Wayne since 1987, needed updating. And she was right. Our exhibits needed updating, some preserving, and a body with intelligence was the Charles H. Wright Museum. They had the curators who were able to do that. So we worked out an agreement for 10 years, and we'll be in their building for the next 10 years.
Talk about the Ford Motor Fund's interest in this great idea.
Well, you know, the Ford Motor Company and the Ford Fund, we've been supporters of the Tuskegee Airmen and the museum for a long time. You know, we're a legacy company. We've been around a long time. It's in our DNA. And so this partnership has been very important to us, whether it's, you know, when the Airmen won the gold medal, Congressional Gold Medal, and we did the celebration on the Hill, to our documentary on two of the airmen that we are gracious and blessed to have here in Detroit, Lieutenant Colonel Jefferson and Colonel Stewart. There's a long history there. And we have so many treasures in Detroit, as you know, Stephen, and everyone who's watching knows. We have the Airmen, and we also have the Charles H. Wright. So what an incredible opportunity to combine those treasures and bring this history into an amazing facility so that so many people can see what the Airmen are about. They're legends. People think they know the story, but they don't know all of the stories. So Ford is really excited to be presenting sponsor of this museum inside the Charles H. Wright that will tell their story to so many from around the world.
Lieutenant Colonel Jefferson, it's hard to imagine how long ago all this happened, but for you, this was a firsthand experience. Tell us about joining the Tuskegee Airmen.
Well, mainly, you got to understand, all men considered for the 99 had to be college graduates. This is part of the whole training of being a pilot. I used to tell nobody wants a dum-dum. Took all the men who were college graduates, and then they had to take high school graduates and put them through 3 months of concentrated math and science. I wanted to be a pilot, but the opportunity was not there because racism, segregation, discrimination denied many of us the opportunity to fly. Some stayed in the military. These were the men who were college graduates, no, high school graduates who went through 3 months of extra training. And when the war ended, they had an obligation to stay in, and the service allowed them to stay in. I was kicked out, literally, and became a teacher.
Brian, Lieutenant Colonel Jefferson's memories, of course, are part of what you guys are celebrating at the museum. It's amazing to hear their stories, but it's also really amazing to be able to have them in the way that you do at the museum and to be able to share them with people.
One of the main reasons for our museum, I'm sorry, is escaped. We want to emphasize Blacks in aviation, starting with the people who started in Chicago and other Blacks who started. It's a hard road.
And the museum tries to cover the history of African Americans in aviation. We do start with Bessie Coleman and end up with today's fighter that is Red Tail in honor of the Tuskegee Airmen. The Air Force has named a fighter Red Hawk in honor of the Tuskegee Airmen. our mission is to inspire young people to not only pursue careers in aviation, but aerospace science. We want them to
Aerospace.
go to Mars.
Yeah.
So having Colonel Jefferson and Harry Stewart around, it's great to get them together, listen to their stories you don't hear in their books. And it's amazing to have them inspire the young people. We had a session the other day where we had current commercial airline pilots along with our students here at the museum who are learning to fly, and to have them talk to the airmen. It was an inspiration both ways. The airmen were very proud of today's commercial airline pilots and today's students who are learning to fly. And of course, all of them hold in high regard the airmen. We realize we're standing on their shoulders.